Hi, guys. I think I might have this live thing finally figured out. And just so you guys know, I am on Instagram and I am on YouTube. So if you're looking for me, there's a couple of places that you can find me. Hello, guys. Will you say hello in the chat for me? Hi, guys. Okay, so I've been going live every day at 11:30 on YouTube. I am going to try to also include you here on Instagram, but it is a little tough because I've got a phone going and a computer going. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about how you can get started with a design business. And I'm not going to be just talking about the ways that I've done it. I'm going to talk to you about all the ways. So sorry, you guys who are on Instagram, I'm probably going to be talking directly to the computer here, and you guys are going to see it as well. I'm going to hopefully see what you guys have going on. Okay, I want to start out by talking about this little guy right here. So I made him last night. And the reason I made him is because I was in an activity with a bunch of teenage girls last night. And one of the girls wanted to teach everybody how to make these puppets. Okay. Now, this is so great because this is made completely out of cardboard. So I've been saving cardboard for about 3 weeks now. Like every Amazon box that arrives, I have just been, you know, saving them. And then I took them to this activity and we used hot glue, we used cardboard, we used paint. We just had like those really like big, fat, like water-based paints, right? And she taught us how to make these crazy little puppets. And this is going to be a little bit hard because there's no way for me to share both at Instagram and on YouTube. But oh, it looks like I'm not sharing it all because this phone lost its batteries because my kid uses it all the time. But the bottom line is that as I was looking around the room at all these girls making these crazy little cardboard things that were like kind of like do you guys see the interior of that? Isn't that so crazy? Here, I'm gonna put it up to Instagram so you guys can see it. The interior of that, so fun. One of the things that really caught my eye is the fact that every one of these kids were so excited. Like they were happy. They were cutting things out, doing things wrong. Like I did I did it upside down. The bigger one was supposed to be at the top. I screwed it up, right? But it's like every kid, you could see and feel their excitement, and you could see them like painting, coming up with ideas. Ellie was sitting next to me. We have two Ellies in there, and Ellie was sitting next to me, and she was like, "What do you think this could be?" And I was just like, it could be a dog, it could be a horse, it could be a moose. We started like just naming off things. It could be a mouse, it could be a cat. And all we had at that point was just this piece. You guys see this? I mean, that piece could be literally anything, right? It's like so funny because it really could be anything. And there's this spark of excitement, this ability to just make and create. It was such a reminder that this is why we do what we do. How many of you remember as a kid, like whatever it was for you, like whether it was drawing, writing a script, painting, sewing? Do you like remember what that felt like? Because once in a while, I will remember what it felt like. No expectations. There was like, I wasn't judging myself, right? Like, I remember, so like 12-year-old Karina really broke a lot of needles on her mom's sewing machine. Like, my mom let me have full, like, she did not monitor me, which I feel really grateful because I think I sometimes monitor my kids too much. But she let me, I would just go into her scrap bag. I would go get like all the weird scraps, and I would just start making Barbie clothes. And like, I think all my Barbie clothes look the same. Like, it was like, because all I knew how to do was bunch, like baste and bunch, and make these really big skirts for my Barbies. So, I mean, it was almost like topless Barbies a lot with just these big skirts, right? So I just think that there's a lot of power to remembering what it was like to create as someone who was young and ready to just make stuff with zero judgment. So I want to remind you that creation is an innate part of us. And so as we get older, as we are designing, as we're creating things, notice how you judge yourself. Does anybody here judge yourself, like, or tell yourself like, oh, that's not good enough, or no one should see that because, like, maybe, someone will think that it's not very pretty. Tell me in the chat if this is you, or give me hearts if you're like, this is totally something I fight against. Yeah, I love it. Delvine says all the time, right? We're kind of fighting all this time, this judgment of ourselves. And so I see this when we get into design. Okay. Many of you guys know I own the University of Arts and Design. We do master's degrees, we do design certificates for undergraduates. And it's fascinating because even in that program, and then we own a program called Design Suite, which that program is literally just to help you build a design business. The amount of times I see designers judging themselves before they've even finished the process blows my mind, because we would never behave that way. We would never judge our kids that way. And we would never behave that way as a child with our own work, right? Someone somewhere, and you guys will remember it, someone somewhere told you that your artwork wasn't good enough. I've heard stories from designers that it happened in college when they couldn't get into a program. I feel that stress for you guys right now. I feel that stress right now. My daughter is trying to get into a program and she's afraid she's not going to get in. And they're judging her artwork, right? It's something that happens. Or the worst is when I see that it's happened in kindergarten. You didn't color in the lines correctly. You didn't make the thing so perfect. They say around 5th grade is when it happens. And some of you might remember that. I kind of remember it for me in 5th grade, where you look over at the next kid's desk. And in my life, there was this girl named Michelle. She was right next to me and she could draw realistic horses. It was the most incredible thing. And, here I was, all I did was doodle flowers. All right. Which is ironic. You guys know I'm a Riley Blake designer. I still doodle a lot of flowers. Okay. But for me, I looked over at the girl who could make realistic horses. And what did I do? I was like, I really can't draw. I'm not a good artist. I'm definitely not as good as her. And so I start, really doubting myself. Yeah. Jacqueline says, agree. We're so hard on ourselves. Whereas this activity last night reminded me how not hard we have to be on ourselves. We don't have to be. Now, you might be like, Karina, what does this have to do with starting a design business? Okay. And, we're as far as I know, the only university that builds a design business in our university program. And then our design program, we also create a design business. And we're very specific about it because we like that our members start really building their business and start becoming profitable. I'd like to talk to you about the 3 ways that you can start a design business or get into design. Okay. So not even design business, but just how do you get into design? Okay. And I am going to tell you that some of these methods I'm going to talk about does require you getting extensive or good enough design knowledge and portfolios to get you there. Okay. So are you guys, you guys are getting an ad in the middle of this? I love that. I don't really know what lives really do here, you guys. I'm just going for it. Anyway, oh my gosh, so many of you guys here on Instagram. Hi, guys. Okay, so let's talk about these 3 things, okay? And I want to preface that by saying that you need to know what your interests and your goals are, okay? So if you want to become a designer or an artist who makes money, because guess what? Designers, what did we used to be called? Commercial artists, guys. Commercial artists. You have to know our history as designers to know that we are commercial artists. Okay. So your interest and your goals matters. And I'm just going to go through 3 things that you guys can do to get into this design biz. Okay. The first one is the path most people take. Okay. So I always say it's get an in-house job. Okay. So that means you're working for a company, you're working for an agency, you're creating products, you're creating marketing, you're creating branding for that company or agency, right? This is the most surefire way to be a designer. You could be a branding designer in this. You could be a production designer. You could be a product-based designer. There are a lot of things that in-house designers do. Now, what's the setback of this? You really do need a proper education to get into this. Companies want to see that you have a degree, an associate's, a bachelor's, a master's, or an MFA, right? A master's of fine arts degree, because they're going to want people who have expertise and background in design. Okay. Or you have to be in a program that's big enough, professional development enough to get you there. We've seen this in Design Suite. I haven't seen it as much in like littler type courses. Design Suite is not a little course, it's a 12-month program. And so when you do Design Suite, we have had several people get in-house jobs with real estate companies and other things, okay? Because you have enough design education that you can design in-house. I always tell people, if like their big dream is to design for Target, to go work for Target. Like that's one of the best things you can do, because that's how you are going to really be able to move forward. Okay. All right. So there's that. Number two. Okay. So number two is to become a freelancer. Now, this includes what many of you call licensing, right? So like the contracts you get with a fabric manufacturer, the contracts you get to do a planner. This is a freelance contract job. Really so good if you have word of mouth, right? So word of mouth is the biggest way to get freelance job, or you have marketing methods to get clients. Okay. So lots and lots of one-on-one work, getting clients in the door, working with all kinds of brands. I also want to say that your design style needs to be extremely flexible, right? Because if you're designing for other people, you need to design the stuff they need you to design, right? So just because I design a lot of feminine type products, okay? But the moment I have to design something for a male branded company, and I'm going to talk about brand here in a second, you guys, but the moment I have to do that, I have to change my entire style. Like no more pink. Like it is usually navy blue. I've got harder lines. I'm using more sans serif fonts. I'm using type blocking. And so like the way that I do things are going to be different based on the company. So oftentimes to be a freelancer, you also do need quite a bit of design education, right? Because you have to mold yourself to what clients need you to do, right? Early on in my career, I did website design for a company that was like for blankets. They did embroidered blankets. And they wanted like the brand of the name, and then they wanted a little heart at the end. It was actually a male owned company, but the product was like personalized blankets. So it was more of a just like a gift type product. Okay. And so we played around with that heart a lot of different ways. On the tail end of the N, on the top, in the center, underneath. Like, I mean, you had to play with it a lot of different ways. Okay. At the end of the day, I took this to the owner and then we built the website to match, but he chose what he wanted. It wasn't necessarily the thing I liked the best. It was whatever worked best for him. And that's what freelance is really all about. It's like a collaborative effort between you, the designer, who has the actual software skills to build the thing, and the company who has the vision for the brand. Okay. All right. Number three is the one that we teach and that we really love. And we do teach some freelance as well. We even have at our upper levels, we have something called Design Suite Agency that people get jobs through. We've had lots of people get jobs through, right? But the third one is called, very simple. It's start your own company or create your own brand, right? We have seen great examples of this. I think Anna Rifle is a great example of this, right? Rifle Paper Company, where it's her artwork, her brand, and then she built it and built products underneath of it. Okay. We specifically made almost every single one of our programs, and we have three main programs to fit this particular thing. So the first one is the University of Arts and Design, right? Master's degrees and undergraduate certificates, but built on helping you build a brand, okay? And building a working business. Design Suite, all about building a business, right? And our third one, which actually launches today. I have no idea why I've got like balloons going up on Instagram, but I do. But the third one that's launching today is our new MCM membership, which is Marketing for Creatives membership. It's the first time we've offered a low ticket, like something inexpensive. So anybody who wanted to learn marketing who was in the creative industry could do it. So those are our three main programs. And they are all centered around starting your own brand. So creating and selling your own designs, your own physical products or print on demand products. Okay. Or even things like your own subscription box, right? It's really based on the products that you want to build. Now, there is a big pro to this, right? So we have to learn how to meld ourselves to other people's companies in the first two, right? And number three, we get to do whatever the heck we want, which is incredible. But with great responsibility, it's like it's all on our shoulders, right? That means we have the responsibility to market it, to actually find the right audience for it, and to actually know how to get people in and make the sales, right? Or we don't survive. So those are the three things. All of them really require some kind of portfolio. In the third one, which is build your own brand, building that portfolio is really your product listings, right? Depending on what you're actually selling. Okay. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. I think if you're interested in building a design business or you want to be a designer, these are the three best methods. I'm sure there are plenty of others. These are the ones we see the most. And just in way of announcement, today is the official start date of our February 20th founders only Marketing for Creatives membership kickoff. It's at 1 p.m. today. So if you haven't signed up for it yet, you still can, and you can make the meeting. And we are starting in a series. We're actually doing three. We're doing bonus videos in February because we want to kick you guys off. So like you really have the ability to start with us while we're new. You get to help us shape this membership and you get to hear how to actually get started. Okay. And we're going to start with branding. We'll also be working directly on launching. So like there are lots of like actual methods that you can learn how to do. Like not just brand. I always like, I'm kind of like, wait, is brand helpful? Yeah, it is. Like at the beginning, we've got to build brand and we need to figure out exactly what we're doing with it. But as you move along, you're going to see there are specific methods you can use to market that will get your name, your face, your visibility of your brand out there. And that's what we do in the Marketing for Creatives membership. If you want to go check it out, we have a free workshop for you that I think you'll enjoy. It's called, well, just go to www.designsuitecourses.com/get-more-customers. So that's designsuitecourses.com/get-more-customers. It's also in the chat if you want to click on that. And that will get you the free workshop. It will also give you access to see what we have going on right now for the membership. Our founders pricing will be going away very soon. So please go check it out if you want some really amazing rates and you want to come see what we're doing today, which will be super fun. Also, those of you who are in the Trailblazers group, we will be introducing the book club book a little bit later today. So stay tuned for that. That'll be awesome. The second thing I want to tell you guys about, well, I actually have a third thing. Okay. I like threes, you guys. So the second thing I want to talk to you about is next week we have a design boot camp. I've been doing these for 4 years, you guys. People get so much out of them and people come back to them. If you are formally have been in a design boot camp, we sent out an email last night allowing you to come to the live next week. Okay. There's something like 5,000 of you who've done it. And we just want to say, would you like to come back to the live and get remotivated for the year? Okay. We do this, every quarter or so. Okay. We also want to let you know that we've restructured the Design Suite program and we are going to be giving you the details of that next week. It is very exciting. You do not want to miss it. We cannot wait for you to see what we're doing. Okay. So as we get to know our members and what they need, we're able to restructure things so that it works for the best for the membership. Okay. Because we're always looking at the needs of our members. So if you have been interested in Design Suite in the past, it financially has not been possible for you, you are going to want to come to see what we're doing. Okay. So come check that out. I think you'll really enjoy it. Last but not least, in 2 weeks, we have our live event. The Design Business Conference is being held at Ashton Gardens or Thanksgiving Point in Lehi, Utah. 3 days of workshops, product-based design. We're going to be making stuff. All my coaches are flying into town. It is going to be incredible. I cannot wait to see you there. Oh, and I didn't give you the Design Bootcamp link. Okay, 2 links to give you. The Design Bootcamp link, designsuitecourses.com/Design Bootcamp. Go, 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 go. Come and join us for that. And then the second thing, this conference, we are closing down doors next Tuesday. So please sign up. We're building all the swag bags. You are going to love what is in them and what we're going to be teaching. So if you want to sign up for that, it's at designsuitecourses.com/March 2025. And especially if you're in Utah, that is a really great way for you to continue to learn and grow. Okay. Yeah. Debbie says, does this cost anything for Trailblazers? Ooh, I don't know what you were discussing about. The book club is just part of Trailblazers, right? So if that's what you're asking, it's just part of Trailblazers. So yeah, so the conference, I can't even remember what the conference cost is. So you're just going to need to go to that website, March 2025, and that is our in-person event. Okay, so that's our in-person event for 2025. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me. It's been so fun. I am going to see if Instagram is working pretty good too. This like doing 2 screens is a little bit crazy, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you're doing things to motivate your creativity. Look at this imperfect guy. Doesn't matter, guys. The joy in the room is incredible. Okay. So bring the joy back, you guys. That innate ability to create, and then you can create it into a career, is a really powerful thing. So those of you who are looking for that, there are 3 types of things that you can look at when you're dealing with me, Design Suite, University of Arts and Design, or our Marketing for Creatives membership. We're here to help. I want to help you. There's no good reason, especially in this day and age, to be stuck. If you are stuck, you're choosing to be stuck, because there are so many great things out there to teach you to get there, to get to that place where you're marketing well, you're doing the things your brand needs to do. You might just need to pivot, right? I always tell people, like, there might be a chance it might be time to pivot. And if you're looking for transformation, that's what our programs do. That's what we care about. Transformation. This is not about us. This is about you. So we're really excited for those of you. We have I'm so excited about everyone who's already signed up for the marketing membership. Today we go live. And then, guys, I can't wait to see you next week in Design Bootcamp. All right, guys, I'll see you guys later. Bye.